Um, so he's the president of the ROATI technology in Canada, where he's like mainly leading the initiative focused on cybersecurity and malware-secure computer development. He's with more than 30 years of experience in sales management and project management, as well as like related to technical sales. Most of his background involves providing technical support and electronic components for satellite applications. And currently his work is based on like alternative approaches to computer hardware and non-digital processing with the goal of developing systems that can safely open and process the infected files, emails, and any other harmful internet-based content. So he's here to share his technical expertise and entrepreneurial leadership. So with that, I'll introduce, would like him to take over. Thank you.
Hello to you in the Eastern time zone. Good morning. To you that are on the Meridian time zone, good afternoon. To those of you who are in India, good evening. To those of you who might be in Korea, what are you doing up? My name is Ralph Kachur. I am the president and founder of ROATI Technologies. When I retired, I was no longer involved in the world of innovative thinking. The challenges of technology and development, the challenges of a particular way to process data in a satellite so that an instrument that is measuring the photonic output of the sun can communicate that data to a ground-based instrument. To have a 14-color camera to be able to take a picture of the aurora borealis hovering like a crown above Earth's North Pole is some of the challenging areas in which I've been involved. And similarly, I'm sure many of you have run into similar type challenges in your own worlds of science. Now, when I retired, I was no longer involved in the world of technical challenges. I did gardening and things around the house. And then I decided, let's find myself a challenge because challenges are fun. So let's look at malware. Kind of a challenge. Malicious software such as virus, Trojan horse, keyloggers, and the very famous ransomware is costing the economies of the world. In 2025, it is estimated that cybersecurity cost the world of technology 10.5 trillion US dollars. That's a massive cost of the world's economies. A major portion of that exists within malware. When thinking about the zero-sun photometer project, there was a particular technical problem that kind of got my head buzzing. And then the Viking project, that's the sun photometer, the Aurora Borealis project, came in. When the two of them came together, I had actually discovered a new class of computer components. In my lab, I was able to ultra low format two computers, place a known malware infected Word document in one of the computers, and there was a bright red screen flashing, danger, danger, danger. And then the data was safely transferred using this discovery of mine to the other computer without the malware, because in the process, the digital part of the file is not processed. I just realized, actually last week, that I'd actually discovered a new form of data that is neither digital or analog. I'll say that one more time. I can say with pride, and that I know because I've proven it, I have discovered a non-digital, non-analog form of data. For a variety of reasons, I lacked the funds to be able to purchase the necessary parts to build a physical proof of concept. The good news is today, or actually yesterday, I realized a way to be able to obtain the funds legally and keep my wife happy at the same time. The process to get to that point leads me back to the purpose of my talk here. I'm a technical person, and I'm a creative technical person. I say that with pride. Many of you are extremely knowledgeable in your technical vertical. And many of you have developed or are developing new innovative ways to bring your vertical technology forward into a business. But in my 30 years of selling electronic components across North America, the one thing that's common is early failure for businesses. Although some of the greatest technologies and ideas I've run across, these companies have failed. The main reason is they are experts in their vertical, which is not the business. So what I did for this particular discovery, I set up a table at my home. On one side, I had a baseball cap. On the other side, I had a fedora. The baseball cap was me, the entrepreneur. I'm going to set the world on fire. The entrepreneur side, or the businessman side, was the fedora. So I put my hat on, my baseball cap on, and I told myself how wonderful I'm going to do and what I'm going to set up the business and how successful it's going to be. Then I took the hat off and I walked around to the other side of the table and I put the fedora on and changed my mindset to be that of a businessman. What a shock when I realized that I did not have the skills to run my own business. Because once this hits the 100 million a year or more sales, I don't have the skills to run a business of that size. So I do have business sense. I have got business skills. So at where do I bring myself out of the leadership of my own business so it can become successful? Well, since I had my fedora on, I needed to think as a businessman. Well, as I was evaluating myself, I am not the right person to evaluate myself. I needed to find out where are my skills. So what I did is I'm in the process now of finding an analytical method for me to run a test on myself to determine where and when it is best for me to pass the reins of running my business from a innovation stage into a successful business stage. Those in the past that I've seen in electronics who have done that have become successful. And I sincerely wish you, those in your world, to put your businessman's hat on. One thing that you may also wish to do is to maybe take a small introductory sales course. The sales course will teach you how to explain your vertical, not so much as to how it does what it does, but rather it will change for what it does for others and will provide you the successful sales for you to be able to play in your own world of innovation. I hope that's of help to you. And if any of you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is Ralph, RALPH, at roati.com, spelled ROATI.com. And by the way, ROATI is an acronym that for a website that I got 30 years ago because I was always solving problems for people. And ROATI stands for Ralph's Onto Another Technology Innovation. I hope you appreciate what I've said. Do you have any questions for me? Oh, I don't have my glasses. I do apologize. How can artificial intelligence, well, they seem to have left me alone for some reason. And as strange as it may seem, I'm actually stuck for words. What does one say when you're talking to an international audience? Seriously, think about hiring a business person, hire a salesperson, hire an HR person, hire a customer service person. But all these people, if you're a one-person operation, needs to be you. That's why you need to have a baseball cap, a fedora, and an army helmet, all different types of hats to be able to do the work that you do. When I looked at the malware problem, studying the malware problem, I realized that there's a simple problem. Probably you can pick up on it very quickly. You start a digital computer that starts a digital monitor, digital keyboard, digital mouse, that starts a digital program called an operating system that might load another digital program called an email server that checks the digital highway for another digital computer to download a digital file that may contain a digital attachment that may also contain a digital malware. So what do we do to protect ourselves against this digital threat? We use digital malware's best friend, digital software. That is nuts. It just doesn't work and is the single biggest reason why there are so many cyber attacks because of that digital only thinking. So what I needed to do was to be able to take a digital file from this computer and transfer it over to that computer, both physically isolated areas. And that is where I, through my background in electronic component technical sales, I actually discovered this new class of computer components when I merged the technologies I was exposed to in that zero-sun photometer and the Aurora Borealis projects. So that is where I developed a new class of computer components, and the rest of it was, for me, a simple redesign of how the computer's hardware safely opens and processes those malware-infected files.
So especially with everything becoming digital these days, like it's important to know about this.
Everything is becoming digital. For me, in the future, my malware-secure computers, when we're commercially available, will be the future of not digital, but the future of data processing.